Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva. Today I want to talk briefly about what I think could be the formation of this very mountain, which is Shiva himself, and also this universe trying to align with what we know from the science. Science says this entire universe began with a big bang, where all of a sudden the equibalanced state of nothing totally exploded, created space, time and energy, and in that phase there was massive movement of highest form of energies that went on to create billions and billions of galaxies and stars and all that. And that science says since the very first recorded light, it could have been sometime between 14-15 billion years ago, or it could even be 16-17, I don't know. Somewhere there is what science keeps saying that. And then they attribute some 5-6 billion years ago for Earth as well, in comparison to the universe, the galaxies and all that. So, and since then, the universe is created. Now, somewhere today I glanced upon, and it reminded me what Shivoham is. Shiva, we know, is Swayambhu. He creates himself. He originates. He is also Rudra. He is the cosmic dance. He starts the creation. Half of him is Shakti, so she is required, and he is the Tattva. All that we know. How much it aligns with science. He is everything. But why I would like to emphasize, or what I would like to emphasize in this brief video, is that something that I heard a year or two ago from Sundarji, a devotee of Mahaperiva, and his discourses are spliced with English information for those who are not so well versed in Tamil and Sanskrit, but he also gives some very deep insights. We all know about Lingodbhava, Swayambhu Shiva, all that, but what insight I got in that discourse was that two deities, two divine entities, as we know, Vishnu and Brahma, they were arguing who is the greatest of them. One is the Lord of prosperity, creation and everything, his wife being the Lakshmi, prosperity, wealth, every form of wealth. He is the maintainer, and the other is the knowledge, the source of knowledge, the creation, everything. And between them there is this argument, who is the greatest of them all. And then suddenly they discover this column of light, the never-ending infinite column of light, and then both try to discover the source of it. So they said whoever finds the source will be considered as this is very important, whoever finds the source. So finding the source is search for God. That is the key thing. Even Vishnu and Brahma had this question, and these are all told in story format, but the reality is that they go, and then this is the most important insight. Brahma, the Lord of the knowledge, the infinite wisdom, the creator, the Brahman, the consciousness itself manifested, Brahma comes back with a lie. He tries to form a truth out of a lie by saying that he had seen, and he even says he had experienced Shiva on the top. Vishnu, the Lord of the prosperity, accepts his defeat and says, no, I couldn't find it. So sometimes even prosperity is not that bad. It is knowledge, the crooked knowledge, when it can create all the problems in the world. You have to be very, very, very aware of this. We can fabricate the truth. Brahma could fabricate the truth, so why can't we? We always try to fabricate the truth, twist the truth in our side, try to coat it in a little bit of flavor so that it hedges to our side. It's our nature. I have done that, you have done that, we all have done that, but have you observed that you doing it? That is insight for you to get liberated. And everybody is so much seeking liberation. What is liberation? Do you know that it is existence itself is going to come to stop? You are done with everything. Everything. Vairagya should be at its highest format. You're done with not only just here and there material things. Okay, you're an old man, so I have done with sex. No, you can't say like that. Oh, there were days when I used to, now I like bhajis. No, you're done with bhajis too. You're done with all the murukus. You're done with all your kadla muttais. You're done with all your eating. You're done with all formats of everything that is. You're done with everything. You're done with seeing. You're done with hearing. You're done with doing. You're done with everything. You're done with everything to that extent. You're done with even being as a manifest being. That is what is exhaustion to reality. And I got this from none other than Swami Chinmayananda. Exhaustion to reality. You are exhausted. The reality exhausts me. If you can say that. Wife, children, grandchildren, mother-in-law, father-in-law, daughter-in-law, sister-in-laws, brothers, everybody done. Positions, money, heart, this, that, this, everything done. That is the state of Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta is done. Dead while being alive. So this is what, do we really know what we are seeking? You can't have all the other things and then say I'm seeking moksha. That will be so oxymoronic. It's like taking a big hole in a pot and then trying to fill the water and say I'm going to bring water back home from the well. Your water will not even come halfway because you got big hole in the pot. Somebody will say, exactly. All your desires, all your wants, all your wishes, small, big, little, big, that, this, everything should be done. That is desiring moksha. That is knowing. That is one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is when you get to know that you are divine itself all the time. Your awareness is sunk in it. You don't need any bit of anything, not a mantra, not a stotra. Those are all there to get you here. You have studied all that, lifetimes you have studied, many janmas you have studied. Now you have come to that state where it all makes sense. Om Bhur Bhuvassuva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. That light that lights up all the 3 universes, and if you want the longer version, the 7 universes, every state, the very light, we spoke about that light which sparks as a physical light, but also the source of the light itself, that which originates, which is also the core of the Diya Shakti of the Devas, the Dhimahi. Let that light also birth not, but go devasya dhimahi dhiyo yona prachodayat. Let it be brightened. I am not saying let it birth. It has birthed me already. I am not invoking that light within me. I am already aware that I am. When you are saying Gayatri, you are aware that you are that light. Om Bhur Bhuvassuva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Let it lighten up. Let it glow. That's what you are saying. Let it prosper so that my awareness is in it. And that is a mantra just to bring and remind it yourself. You don't need that mantra if you can remind yourself and be in that state without that mantra, in your very state of silence. Anyway, I wanted to speak about Swayambhu Shiva. The Shiva is this. And one other theory I had was that, sometimes they say that, the entire galaxy systems and all that, the stars made the planetary system. And they also say that this mountain is older than Himalayas, hardly 1,000 and some 200 feet mountain, how can this be 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers from the ground up to the top? How can this be greatest mountain ever? Because it could be the teardrop separation. Those who have done chapati know that when you tear, there is a teardrop effect that happens when you pull out a small ball of chapati from the big this thing. You ought to have shear it, and it or when you pour milk or something, you will have the teardrop, or when your tears themselves fall, you would have seen that, you know, the teardrop. So when it was torn away from the sun itself, perhaps this was the point in which the earth got separated from the sun. Who knows? I don't know. That is my imagination to give it highest significance, because this mountain was once volcanic. I've seen volcanic stones. This mountain was once iron and all that. Before iron, it was gold and all that. Inevitably, it came from the belly of a star, so it has to be gold. So that's Shiva. Shiva is everything. Shiva is everything. Shiva is, in the form of all of us here. And what is seeking moksha all about? And the thing is, so what did Brahma and Vishnu learn? Brahma and Vishnu learned that to see the Shiva within, you can't lie. Your money doesn't help. Prosperity doesn't help. All kinds of prosperity. But honest truth will make you realize that you yourself are that Shiva. They would have realized at that point in time, and that is when he gives the Lingodbhava. Then he gives them a form, and that is the first time when Shiva solidifies himself and becomes the Linga. Before that, Shiva was not a Linga. Then he says, you know what, let me give you a form, and let this column of light be the form. And that column, stupid Western, yes, there is another column in a phallic symbol and all that, but the thing is, it is so deep. Our Hinduism is so deep. To look at it on the surface and not make full sense of it is stupidity. And even if you don't have to make conclusion, is the stupidity. So it's from that column, Shiva said, let me become the Lingodbhava. Let me give you a form. Linga is a form. Let me give you a form to remind yourself. An external form, and this is another external form. Your Linga at home is another external form to remind that you are Shiva. That's it. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva.